Hey people, I'm going to do a quick review on this Riot brand motorcycle helmet I picked up in Ottawa, Canada. Ontario, actually, the province. There's a few things I like about this helmet and a few things I don't like about this helmet, but I haven't really seen it online for much at all, you know, especially no reviews or anything. So I'm gonna probably be the first one. I don't think you'll see it anywhere else. First off, I seen it on the shelf and I said, wow, is that a carbon fiber helmet or just like a application? Well, it is a carbon fiber helmet and it's only 50 ounces, I believe was the measurement. So it's like just over 3 pounds, which is what really drew me to it. And because I have some pretty, you know, decent serious neck problems, so I figured the lighter helmet would be a plus, and it definitely is. It comes with a dark shield and it comes with a clear shield, which she gave me the wrong clear shield with it. I have to go back and pick it up. So let's see if you can get a look inside there. It's pretty standard features. I think I paid somewhere like with tax included and some Canadian money. I think I paid something like $3.80 Canadian for it, which is pretty expensive. There's some things about the helmet I wish were better for that price, but I mainly really jumped at the weight savings because it is substantially put it in my dad's hand. The first thing he said was, "Oh my God, this thing is remarkably light." It is also ECE rated, which is good. I'll go over the likes first. I like the smoke shield, the fact that it comes with 2 of them. It's pretty positive detents. It has a positive lock on the bottom. I'm not going to do it here, but you push this down and it snaps real hard right here in front. It's a fairly simple locking system compared to other stuff. It's already pretty hard to lift it back up here. It's pretty simple locking. Okay, it's not locked, I just can't do it holding the camera trying to film. There we go. I pull a muscle on my arm. It's difficult. So anyhow, I like how the mouth, or actually that's a visor vent really, and the head vent are all centralized, really big for when you're riding. And I rode in it today actually at about, what is it today? It's 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So 39 I think when I left. So it was actually warm. I had the top vent open. I could feel the cold air. I closed it. I mean, it felt pretty airy. Felt okay, a lot better than my old 20-year-old helmet that's, you know, junk by now. It felt pretty aerodynamic on the ride. It was stable. It's light as hell, like I'm not wearing it. I wasn't really going super fast or anything, so I can't really talk about the aerodynamics. It has a pretty nice gloss to it. It's nice, shiny. It looks pretty clear looking through the glass here. Let me try to fight with this for a split second. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. It seemed to not fog up very much. It's pretty comfortable. It's pretty plushy inside. See, it's got like this quick ratcheting strap thing, which you can remove and just use like the D-rings are behind the other clasp section. You see them there. You can not use that thing and clasp or D-ring it. You can see the inside liner there and the venting. So those are the things I like. Centrally located, easy to use. Adjustments really, like for venting, visor open down is ambidextrous. It's comfy. It's comfier than the, I I tried on a couple HJC helmets and a couple Scorpions. It seems plushier on the inside than those. Not super spongy, but I think it was one of the HJCs I tried on that was actually really stiff, and I didn't care for it. The shield is easy, whatever that rated is, I guess. Things I don't like about it. It doesn't have any reflectivity on the back. It doesn't have the easy tear out neck rings. All this stuff is out snappable though. I messed with it. I didn't want to really put it back in. I took this breath shield thing. You can pop this out. It's fairly flimsy rubber. And I trimmed a shade off of it with a pair of nursing trauma shears. Made a pretty decent clean cut because it just barely would touch my nose. I cut about that much off it, if you can see my finger, maybe roughly something like that. It was just irritating me, just touching my nose, and that was annoying as hell. It definitely doesn't air as good as like if you've ever used an Icon Armada helmet. They're like almost overly vented. If you don't know how to operate the vents, I rode with one of those a couple years ago, and I needed to shut it down because it was cold, and I couldn't figure out how, and it was like freezing my head, which I guess is a pretty good problem to have in the summer. The shield change on this thing is brutally ridiculous. It is so stupid. It's not. I'm a mechanical guy, and the shield change mechanism is hard as hell. You have to like pull this little springy thing down and to full open and then pop this thing out. But this whole carriage thing rides on a spring and like goes back and forth. So it's a nightmare. It sucks. If I'd have tried that at the store, I probably would have not bought this helmet, honestly. It is that stupid. If you're one of these Riot, the people who import this helmet or whatever, you definitely need to work on that system. It's straight up shit. It's got a nice gasket. There's not a lot of wind noise. Sliding back to the pluses here. It seals up good. I found it quieter than my other helmet for sure. It was hard for me to hear like wind noise and stuff though, because my friend's bike I was on is pretty friggin' loud. But it seemed pretty quiet. It seemed really stable too. Other dislikes, it might not vent as good as I hoped. I can't really say that yes or no though. I have to wait till the heat, summertime wheel riding. That's about all the dislikes I have on it. The shield, the reflectivity, the pullouts. I believe it's made in China. I think that's what the label said. I'm not specifically sure if it's made in China, imported. The girl at the store told me that it was made in Montreal. I don't know if she knew what she was talking about or if she meant it was imported to Montreal or what. I don't know. But it's hard to find much on these helmets online, but it is ECE rated. It's super light. So the other thing and this is an issue with me, is the fitment of it. It's nice. It's intermediate oval. It fits your head well. But I personally am like right on the cusp of the early part of extra large and the end of large. So a large helmet squeezes the shit out of me, but an extra large is just a shade too big. And that's where I am with this guy's an extra large. I don't know how many shell sizes and stuff there are, but it's, so I'm thinking about getting like a heat gear cap or balaclava type thing to see if it takes up just a little bit of room for me, and then it would be like a perfect fit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, man, if I just had a 1/4 inch more skull, it would be perfect. But so that's, the weight thing is big for me though, for my neck. It is a fairly large outside diameter helmet. It's about the same as my other extra large, except it's got this teardrop shape to it, which makes it definitely longer front to back, which I think helps it cut the air. It seemed very air stable, as I was out in the wind. There was no windshield on the bike, so I was right there, in it. You know, I was pressing my helmet back, and I head checked a bunch on purpose, and I didn't feel anything weird. I didn't get any odd, you know, whistles or anything weird like that. So, it's a pretty good buy for weight wise if you really need the weight, you know. I don't know, I have to do some serious riding in it though to do a little bit better judgment, but you're probably not going to get any better review online. You're probably not even going to see this helmet anywhere. But yeah, that's something else actually. So this pad seems to pop out a little bit, but it snaps right back in. I can't really do it on camera, but if you grab it by and manipulate the helmet around, that pad seems to pop out a little bit. I'm gonna have to mess with it and see what the deal is, but if I jerk on this one too, it'll kind of do the same thing. But I don't know, we'll see. I'll test it out and give it a good whirl. It has big ear cutouts for speakers too, so there's that. I'm not a big comms guy. It's got a chin curtain. So the directions were pretty lame. There wasn't a whole bunch of, you know, description in there about what you could do with the inside and all that. So, okay, folks, thanks a lot.